How much does this person want? How much does she need? This is part of our land. No wonder they want it. Too bad they don't got it, because it's not theirs. The thief never owns what they take. And the fact is that this message is getting out across the planet. The fact is that people will be supporting us, and people are supporting us in huge volumes. You might be asking, how do we get the resources to do this, to get this message out? The resources are being donated. I'm telling you the truth. Have a look at the Pacific Islander Protection Act, 1872, 1875. Have a look at the Act of Settlement 1701. Have a look at Section 127 of the Constitution. Ask yourself, if you were told that you weren't part of the Commonwealth of Australia, and then the Commonwealth of Australia changes its law and says, oh, but hang on, we're now going to include you. Change your laws, do what you want. I'm still on the outside of it. It's as simple as that. No Aboriginal person on the continent of Australia is subject to British law. We are not British subjects. Anybody who's born in this country is not a British subject. If you're an Australian citizen, as they call it, go to England. See if you can get in through the domestic gate. See if you get spun around and sent back over to the aliens gate. I'll ask you the question. If you have to enter your Queen's domain as an alien, is she not alien to you too? And if she is an alien to you, how can she be your monarch? How can she be your queen? Let's have a look at the laws. Let's have a look at the laws in this country. Have a look at how judges are supposed to be appointed. Where's their writs of commission? Huh? The legal process that should be followed to appoint the Governor-General. The last 5 Governors-General of Australia have not been lawfully appointed. There are no orders in the Privy Council that are viewable that show that any of the last 5 Governors-General were lawfully appointed. The current Governor-General, who's just about to get the flick, Jeffrey Stevens, or whatever his name is, Major General, he was appointed by John Howard. Now, that may not mean much on the surface, but I'll ask you a question. How can we've got a constitutional monarch and a foreign power, we've got the Prime Minister of Australia, who's a solicitor, so he can be trusted, we've got the Prime Minister of Australia, who says, hang on, I'll give the Governor-General, whose office is above his, because he's just a member of the executive government, he says, I will give him up here vice-regal authority in the name of a foreign power. Pardon me? And that power will be exercisable in this land. What? There's an easy way of resolving this. And the best way of dealing with this is this. When you're dragged into court, ask the magistrate or the judge to prove their jurisdiction. Ask them to prove it. Show a writ of commission. You know, signed by the appropriate British authorities, registered with the British Privy Council. You know, ask for the same. Ask for the writ of commission for the Governor of the State or the Governor-General. Ask for any of these documents that are listed as being absolutely necessary to keep in check and in place the chain of command from the Crown, who apparently is the Crown here. Where is the line of authority? Because if there's a discontinuance in that line, there is no authority for the person at the bottom of the pile. You know, because as much as the judges would like to lord over us that they're the judge and they're, oh, this is my court, okay, well and good, but you're at the bottom of the pile when it comes to your lineage of power. The buck stops with you. It starts up there and it comes down. If there's a break in that, if you can't prove that you are in fact a judge, a magistrate or a justice, whatever you want to call yourself, you have no jurisdiction, you have no authority, you're a lie. You're a liar. Nothing more, nothing less. You know? The ironic thing is, I suppose these judges that are sitting on the benches would be the first to chastise their own children if their own children lied to them. And these people are not telling lies, they're living lies. You know? And they are crucifying people's lives in order to maintain their own lie. They're destroying people in order to maintain this farce that they are and that their system is. I don't want to tear Australia to pieces. I love my country. I'm doing this. I'm putting my life on the line because I do love my country. And I love my country enough to actually research what the truth is about my country. And my country is more than a cesspit for the dumping of British criminals. Okay? Have a look at the 2 boys that killed the Bulger kid in England. Huh? The Pommies sent them over here. When they finished with them, they sent them over here. And what did our government do? straight up the Queen's butt. Let's take them. We'll bring them into Australia. Yeah? No, thank you. We don't want your scum here. You know, I've been saying that. Australia's got the same problem now that we had 200 years ago. Boat people. You know what I mean? It's a problem that has to be resolved. Let's keep Australia Australia. But let's start putting in place a remedy to the lies that have been told. Let's start putting in place a remedy to the theft that has occurred in this land. Let's start putting in place a mechanism whereby the Aboriginal people of this land can just be brought up to the same level as everyone else. You know, in respect of health, housing, infrastructure, education. Not your education. We don't want to be taught any more lies. We're awake up to your crap. We want our own education taught. We want our own history and culture taught to our own people. Because ours is true. Yours is not. And regardless of what happens, 100 years from now, Mr. Rudd, Mr. Howard, regardless of what happens, you people will be known. You will be remembered as being liars. If Mr. Rudd's got the opportunity to do something about it. I found Mr. Rudd's apology. I must go here with this. I found Mr. Rudd's apology on the 13th of February. I found the date ironic. But on the 13th of February, when he apologised, he made an unconditional apology, but reserved in respect of compensation. Well, any apology which doesn't afford a compensatory measure in respect of the actions that incited the apology is no apology. You know, if I slap you in the face and turn around and go, I'm sorry, that's not much of an apology, is it? What we've got here is we've got Kevin Rudd on that day was standing there going, hey, I'm sorry we took your kids off you. How many kids do we take today? It's got to stop, Mr. Rudd. It's got to stop now. We can see through it and we can see past it. You know, if you claim that you are the eloquent man that you are, that you're the honourable man that you claim to be, because you are eloquent, honourable's yet to be determined. Your apology didn't mean much. But given under your law, this is the interesting thing, and Mr. McClellan, the Attorney General, will probably get a bit of a shiver up his spine on this one. On the 13th of February, you set an amazing precedent, an incredible precedent. What you did was, you established in the highest court of this land, which is the Parliament, you established that regardless of the nature of the crime that is committed in this country, a person merely has to offer a verbal apology, and there is a complete legal remedy to all compensatory issues. Now, what are you going to do, Mr. Rudd, Mr. McClellan, when people, everyone, when everyone who's committed a crime turns up in court and says, oh, excuse me, Your Honour, I'm sorry, off I go? Because that's what you did. Can you see the moronicism of that? Can you see the absolute lack of integrity? Huh? Can you see that? I drove my car drunk, I wiped out a family on the highway, I turned up to court and I said, oh, sorry. Oh, good on you. How would you feel, Mr. Rudd? I'll run a question past you. And past everyone. How would you feel if someone came screaming up the street, 50 k's over the speed limit, and run over one of your children, or your wife, or your sister, or your brother, and then turn around, walked into court and said, oh, gee, I'm sorry I took your family off you, catch you later? And that was the only legal remedy that you were afforded. How would you feel? Because that's how the Aboriginal people of Australia feel in respect of Mr. Rudd's apology.